So RFK Jr. and Donald Trump are now trading barbs. It's getting kind of spicy between the two of them. And I have many thoughts on this. So first, let's start with what RFK said about Trump. This was relatively unprompted, as far as I could tell. But he comes out the other day on Twitter and he says, President Trump calls me an ultra-left radical. I'm so liberal that his emissaries asked me to be his VP. I respectfully declined the offer. I am against President Trump, and President Biden can't win. Judging by his new website, it looks like President Trump knows who can actually beat him. Okay. So, number of thoughts on this here. The thing about him being asked to be Trump's VP, here's my perspective on it based on what I've read. I'm curious if you guys agree. But I think there are people who are close to Trump, like staffers who are kind of close to him, who those staffers are interested in that idea. So they reached out to him. I don't necessarily think it came right from Trump. In fact, I'd be surprised if it came from Trump. Because it doesn't, look, if you are Trump, it just doesn't make much sense. Because right now, what you're trying to do, you're trying to win over women, suburbanites. Trump has been clear for a long time, I'm going to pick a woman. That's why on the short list, Carrie Lake was on the short list, Elise Stefanik, Kristi Noem, that's who I think it's going to be. But he would want somebody who is, obviously his number one criteria is loyal. But outside of that, he also wants a woman and somebody who's relatively moderate because he knows he's viewed as more extreme, right? So I think that's his thought process. So I don't really think Trump is steering the car there in terms of asking RFK. I think there are people who are part of the Trump campaign who like RFK, and they are interested in maybe bringing that about. So they are trying to set up some sort of a meeting or whatever it is, right? That's my thoughts on it. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think Trump is actually interested in picking RFK Jr.? Okay. So he says, I'm against President Trump and President Biden can't win. That's the strongest language I've ever heard yet for him against Trump. Because usually he more attacks Biden than attacks Trump. This is the first time he's doing more of the opposite here. It's almost like he's saying, I'm against President Trump. That's why I'm running. I don't think Biden can win. I'm trying to swoop in and save the day. That's like sort of the taste this leaves. And then he brings up Trump's website. I don't know. I guess on Trump's website, it brings up RFK and goes after him or something. Okay. Anyway, this is the gist of it. Now, by the way, my thoughts on this are it's actually not a good sign. The reason why there's a question as to whether or not RFK will take more votes from Trump or Biden is because RFK, most of his rhetoric is more right-wing coded than left-wing coded. He has way more people who lean conservative who support him than he has people who lean left. So if he does this, if he makes this switch up, where now he tries to sound more liberal or tries to sound more leftist or goes after Trump a lot, then it does become more likely he will take more votes from Biden. The only thing making it so that he gets some liberal votes now is the Kennedy name is Democratic royalty, right? But if he now has that Democratic royalty name and he spends most of his time attacking Trump or saying left-wing coded things, then he will be more of a threat to Biden. See what I'm saying? So even though I agree with him more in substance here, attacking Trump more, the consequences of that are he might end up taking more votes from Biden. Right now, the evidence is mixed if he'll take more from Trump or Biden. Okay. So now let's get to Trump's response. This is fun. This is funny on so many levels. Here, let's dive in.
RFK Jr. is, as you know, the most radical left candidate in the race. He's more so than the Green Party. He's more so than even crooked Joe Biden.
That is so untrue. He's the most radical left candidate in the debate, in the race. That's not true at all. Cornel West is way to the left of him. Jill Stein is way to the left of him. I think maybe he's a little left of Biden because there's some issues where like corporate capture, you could say, is to the left of Biden. But he's just, like, Trump's just wrong. He just says shit. This is already great. I love it. It gets funnier. Wait for it.
He's got some nice things about him. I happen to like him.
This guy, he's horrible. Extremely far left, radical, bad guy. But I kind of like him. This is the most Trump thing ever. I love it so much.
Crooked Joe Biden. But he's got some nice things about him. I happen to like him. Unfortunately, he is about the Green New Scam because he believes in that, and a lot of people don't. They want to see our country. He's
for the Green New Scam. He believes in that, but a lot of people don't. I love he clearly does these in one take and just shoots from the hip. It's glorious. I absolutely love it. I love it. By the way, like old school RFK, yeah. Like back in the day, he was huge on environmental stuff, right? And fighting climate change. Now he's totally changed his tone on that. Now, if anything, he sounds more like climate change skeptical. So, yeah, old school RFK was probably about the Green New Deal. New school RFK, he does the whole tap dance about like, well, you know, we should understand people who are skeptical on the question of climate change. And so I don't even know. It's not true what he's saying.
Become rich and wealthy and strong and powerful and lots of other things and not waste money doing something that nobody wants and everybody knows doesn't work. I guess that would mean that RFK...
By the way, Trump's got a mean neck-gina today. Look at that. That neck-gina is just out there for the world to see, bro. Holy shit. He's definitely lost some weight. There's been some pictures where people are speculating, is this Ozempic Trump? I mean, maybe, right? He definitely lost weight, but the neck-gina is getting worse.
Jr. is going to be taking away votes from crooked Joe Biden, and he should, because he's actually better than Biden. He's much better than Biden.
He's radical left. He's the furthest left, but I kind of like him, and he's better than Joe Biden.
If I were a Democrat, I'd vote for RFK Jr. every single time over Biden.
You see what he's trying to do here, right? Please, please, Democrats, vote for RFK. Take more votes from Biden than from me, please. That's the whole point.
He's frankly more in line with Democrats. RFK Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, is also a very liberal person, but that's okay. She's got plenty of money from her ex-husband. Kennedy is a radical left Democrat and...
It's a very liberal person, but that's okay. She's got plenty of money from her ex-husband. Go digging ass hoe. Go digging ass hoe. That's what we call her, folks. Go digging hoe.
RFK Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, is also a very liberal person, but that's okay. She's got plenty of money from her ex-husband. Kennedy is a radical left Democrat and always will be, but he's a better man than Joe Biden, that I can tell you. It's great for MAGA. I hope he continues to run, but the communists will make it very hard on him to get on the ballot, as they did for him as a Democrat. He wanted to get on the ballot. They made it very, very difficult for him. They really went after him viciously, just like they go after me.
He said the communists will make it difficult for him to get on the ballot. You mean the corporate Democrats? Those people aren't remotely communist. They're corporate hacks, just like you and your entire Republican Party, freak.
Welcome to the crowd, RFK Jr. But the fact is that the Democrats are vicious, communist, fascists. They're horrible people.
They're vicious, communist, fascists, totalitarian, Maoists. That's what they are, folks. They're Leninists. They're Marxist-Leninists. Can you tell me more labels, please? I want to give every label that I possibly can. That sounds bad to the Democrats.
They really hurt him badly, what they did to him as a Democrat. That's why he's running as an independent. But expect him to be indicted any day now, probably for environmental fraud. He is crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, not mine. Biden can't speak. Biden can't debate. Biden can't put two sentences together. So I guess he's probably going to indict RFK Jr. But I'm glad that he's running. They will fight it out together. We have the right and we have the center, and we have even center a little bit left, if you can believe it or not.
We have the right, we have the center, we even have the left, a little bit left, if you can believe it. Why is he so funny? It's not fair.
Because that group is radical left. They want windmills. They want...
I'm laugh coughing now. They want windmills. They want childcare. They want healthcare. How disgusting is that?
All sorts of things that are going to destroy our country, and we're not going to allow it. If you want to drive an all-electric car for a half an hour before you have to go home and get it charged, then you should vote for Joe Biden. But it's going to be interesting to watch the two of them fight it out. I do believe that RFK Jr. will do very well, and I do believe he's going to take a lot of votes away from crooked Joe Biden. Thank you very much.
So, guys, the reason why he's doing this is because the polling is mixed on this. According to some polls, RFK actually takes more votes from Trump. Right? There's also polls that show the opposite, that he takes more from Biden, but his attempt in doing this is to try to be like, please, liberals, lefties, you guys, ones who might vote for Biden, don't vote for Biden, vote for RFK, so that RFK takes more votes from him. Like, that's the whole point of this. But it's so funny because it's so transparent. You know, his talking points are all over the place about this guy. Guys, remember, it was hilarious to me when, as soon as like the first few polls came out that showed RFK was actually taking more votes from Trump, what happened? RFK, who became a superstar on Fox News, he was invited back on Fox News on Sean Hannity's show, and RFK went in there thinking it was going to be a patty cake session like it was before. Patty cake, baker's man. Ask me easy questions and I'll be a hack, right? Like, he was expecting that, but on a dime, Hannity flipped when the evidence showed, hey, you might actually hurt Trump more than Biden, and he started pelting him with questions about his past and bad things he did and bad policy positions that conservatives hate and just bah. And then now, you know, they're kind of in a similar place. It's just confusing, right? It's confusing. We don't know if he's going to help Trump or Biden more. But Trump clearly is afraid he's going to hurt him more, and that's kind of why he's doing this. But let's see. Let's see if RFK keeps hitting Trump. Like I said, the impact of that would probably be that eventually he would take more votes from Biden. If now he starts saying things that are more liberal-coded or left-wing coded and starts attacking Trump more. So in a weird way, you almost, you know, want RFK to stay more right-wing coded and to attack Biden more, because then that would take more votes from Trump. Does that make sense? You understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, who even knows how many ballots he's going to be on, right? It is so hard to get on the ballot as an independent. And I think the Libertarians and the Greens are going to get on more ballots for sure. Even though he's got the bigger name, he's polling higher. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. All right, guys, that's the show. Everybody, what are you doing with your life? Subscribe to the channel. Just hook a brother up with that. We're trying to get to 10 million subs. It'll take a while, but you build it one at a time. Click the like button. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. All that fun stuff. You guys can listen to the show podcast style if you want over on Spotify. Just, obviously you don't get the videos that way, but you can get the whole show as a podcast if you're so inclined. This week on Crystal Kyle and Friends, we have a pro-Palestine protester. He is Palestinian, and he's been confronting members of Congress. You're definitely going to want to check that out. So subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends below on Substack. And that's all I got for you guys, man. Thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who tips with the thanks button on YouTube. You guys make it work. Again, I'm very proud. That's why I always tell you guys that I never have talked to an advertiser. It makes me very proud. I'm one of very few people in this space who do that. And so you guys help fund it from the ground up. You know, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Small dollar donors, keep it rolling, do our thing. All right, love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.